more specifically White Beach in Boracay. It's one of the most popular places for tourists. As you can see, it's a super long stretch of just white sand and beautiful beach area. It is kind of hot right now, so there aren't many people on the sands, but it's still such a beautiful place. A couple other beaches would be Puka Shell Beach, which is more north, I believe, and Tabasan Beach, which is the beach closest to us, and it's also very beautiful. So Boracay has some of the most beautiful beaches in the world, which leads to a lot of tourists. In 2017 alone, they had over 2 million people visiting the island, which is 66 people, tourists, to every one resident that lives on the island, which is a crazy amount. So in 2018, they actually had to shut down Boracay because of the over-tourism. Even the president's own words were that Boracay became a cesspool and they needed to clean it up. So in 2018, they put in they implemented a lot of different things to help kind of clean up the island. Not only for the tourists, like proper sewage and just easier road access, but also for the locals, so they could have access to clean water and like space to live, as well as jobs and food. So just imagine this beach behind me completely full of people. Right now it doesn't look like it would be that crowded, but it does get that crowded. So one of the things they implemented was a daily limit to how many tourists could actually visit the island. There's over 6,000 people that are allowed to be ferried in on a daily basis. Right now in the month of March, they actually had the biggest sea of tourists coming into Boracay, which was a little bit over 4,000. So as you can tell, tourism is definitely starting to come back to Boracay, especially after all the lockdowns. And we're seeing a kind of revival of the island. There are also a limited amount of places that can actually rent out for the tourists to stay. In 2018, there was only a little over 350 actual hotels that you could stay in because of the new environmental rules that they had. And now, because it is 2022, we have gone through the lockdowns and a whole bunch of other stuff, that it's probably much lower. And we can see that around the island as well. There are many commercial buildings for sale, for rent, or just completely kind of demolished, kind of not as pretty as they once used to be. So hopefully we will see a larger uptick of tourism and just business and economy growth here in Boracay. We now live in Boracay as well, so we are super happy to be here and excited to see what the island has to offer and how it will grow in time. And the great thing about having them shut down in 2018 was now that Boracay can grow in a more balanced way. There won't be any worry about environmental issues. You can only have electric vehicles here now in Boracay as part of the environmental laws that they put in place. Only electric vehicles are allowed on the island. So when you do come here, you'll see that there's only electric trikes. There are no motor trikes that you can use, and no cars except for the hotels with specialized permission, but they have to be they're very rare. So it is a beautiful island, and hopefully it stays that way because of all these new laws in place to protect it.
Good.
So in conclusion, Boracay is a beautiful place and it is open to the public and for tourism. So you need to get your tourism pass quickly if you want to be one of the 6,400 people allowed on the island daily. Like I said before, this March there were over 4,800 people who came in daily. So it's just gonna increase from there, and there will be that limit set, so you might have to wait a couple days if you are planning a vacation here on the island. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you want more updates and news from the Philippines, specifically from us in Boracay. See you later!
How it's supposed to feel.